I'm Callie Lewis. You're watching Geek Brief TV. This is Brief 445. We're here in Sedona, Arizona, and it's gorgeous. We've been on the road all week, and as I check the gadget feeds, I'm glad I focused on the AMX exhibit at the Women's Museum because only a handful of new gadgets announced this week have gotten my attention. The one that stands out the most is one that reminds me of Thad Starner's wearable computer. It's called the MediaPort UP, and it was created by Nikon. If your goal is to provide an alternative to the iPod, why not make it radically different? That's what Nikon has done with the UP. The device consists of full-sized headphones, a portable audio-video player, Wi-Fi, memory, and power. A single video screen floats over one eye. There are two versions, but my gut says the UP300X is the one to want. It has a built-in motion sensor that allows for hands-free operation, including volume adjustment. All you have to do is move your head up and down, left or right. The 300X also has 8 gigabytes of internal memory. Wi-Fi facilitates web browsing, including the ability to download media. Supported video includes WMV, MPEG-1, MPEG-2, but in a freakishly weird move, not MP4 video. Supported audio includes non-DRM to MP3, AAC, and WMA9. No MP4, quite frankly, equals WTF. It's not a gadget, but did you guys see the tilt-shift time-lapse videos on Gizmodo? It showed up in a couple of other places too, but it's one of the most unusual visual effects I've ever seen, and I would love to know how to do it. John Mahoney describes the effect this way. He says, tilt-shift lenses sit off-center of the film or sensor plane of your camera to produce photos with extremely limited depth of field, giving the effect of a macro shot of a tiny scene. The video you're looking at was produced by Keith Loutit, and he has a Vimeo account with more examples. A link is in the show notes for brief number 445 at www.geekbrief.tv. There's an Apple event on October 14th. We believe Apple will announce a new aluminum MacBook using Apple's new brick technology, along with new cinema displays. There is, of course, no way to be sure. Our last bit of video from the AMX exhibit at the Women's Museum is nothing short of precious. One of the reasons I'm so excited about the Nerd Girls is that I love the idea of women engaging our brains to write code and solve problems without giving up our girliness. Suzie Johnson is an engineer at AMX, and she's both brilliant and cute as a bug's ear. Take a look. Today I have Suzie Johnson from AMX, and tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm Suzie Johnson. I work at AMX. I'm a firmware engineer, and I love AMX.
Good plug. We have a remote here that instead of the touch panel displays, you can use a remote instead if you want to.
Right. This remote has a tiny little radio in it. It's based on the Zigbee technology, which is a really new technology.
Okay.
And it's more for existing homes where you want to go wireless. This little guy doesn't suck up a lot of power, so you can leave him off of his cradle and he won't die on you for several days.
So for older homes that already are wired up, you don't want to change all that, start ripping through the walls, or even apartments. I mean, because some of the most frustrating times when I'm in an apartment and I want to, do some home automation and I can't.
Right, and you can use this, and we have a gateway that plugs into an Ethernet port that goes back to the master, and if you want more coverage, we have repeaters that you can place strategically in the house, so you take them around and you don't lose control.
Awesome. You can control everything. There's no limitations.
No limitation. We have a graphics screen. It's a tiny little touch screen. It's just like the little touch panels. And you can control by pressing on it, or you can use the buttons, and it's got everything a normal remote would have.
Are there any parental controls if you don't want your parent or your kid watching? If you don't want your parent to turn on the TV.
Right. That would be more at the master level. This little guy just does what he's told.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Don't you guys just love her? Thank you so much for using my promo codes GB1, GB2, or GB3 at GoDaddy.com. There's no way to explain how it's helping us grow. All I can say is thanks. I think we may have a robot sponsor coming up thanks to Mr. Adam Curry. We're releasing audio updates for our trip on our Twitter accounts and on bigtrip.tv. I think the next stop will be somewhere near the valley, the Silicon Valley. Thanks for watching. I'm Callie Lewis. Altitude. It showed up in a couple of other places too, but it's one of the most unusual video shooting out on location. Apple, go Apple! I can't see.